Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fun with Flags. I'm your friendly neighborhood soda, and as always, joined with my good friend Fifty Shades of Geek Man. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Just a little bit sleepy, but I should be fine.
Naturally, naturally. So for those who don't know, this is the show Fun with Flags, where we sit down and each episode we alternate talking about something from each other's country. And this week I went a little, I don't know, I went a little fun with it. The Canadian pioneers of Hollywood. You'd be surprised how many people who are well known names from back in the day or important figures actually hail from Canada. I was surprised at some of the names too.
And important people today too.
Oh yeah, a lot of people today. That's why I this is pretty much people who are more famous for stuff that happened 1950s or earlier.
Okay.
So that's what we're considering Canadian pioneers of Hollywood. So let's start off with the northern part of Canada. We're gonna start off with a God knows I'm gonna freaking screw this up. Uh, Ala Karialak.
Bless
He
you.
yeah, basically. He was the star of a quote unquote documentary known as Nanook of the North. It was the first documentary to achieve commercial success, and in 1989 was among the first group of 25 films selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the United States National Film Registry for being quote unquote culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Okay.
I've never
Okay.
seen it. It's from the silent era.
Mm.
I,
Which is weird. That seems to be your bread and butter.
it is, but while I admire it, I can't say I've watched a lot of silent films.
Okay.
Mostly a lot of Charlie Chaplin films, and I've
Yeah.
seen some Harold Lloyd and what have you. But yeah. Okay, so next up, we have Raymond Burr. He's from New Westminster, Vancouver. He starred in the TV series Ironside and Perry Mason, which he was incredibly famous for. And also, he was in the Toho film Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Ooh,
Yeah,
the original
the
then.
original. He played Perry Mason in the original show from 1957 to 1966 and did 26 TV movies from 1985 to 1993 when he died.
Ooh.
Yeah, like he like so I remember him when I was a kid because it was on just on one of the channels we had. So like I knew him as Perry Mason, like older Perry Mason, and then as I got older, I found out more about him. I was like, pretty cool.
I was. I'm actually a bit shocked to note to learn that there's actually Canadian people in the original Godzilla Toho movies. I did not know that. I thought it was
Yeah.
just local.
Well, so here's the thing: Godzilla King of the Monsters is technically not the original. It's more of the American release version. Like they included those scenes for
Oh,
distribution over here.
like
So
added scenes to the Japanese version.
exactly, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, so technically it is, but it isn't. You know, it's one of those
It
semantics
isn't.
things.
It is, but it isn't. It is, but
Yeah,
it isn't.
semantics.
Yeah.
All right. So next up is someone. She didn't do much, but her place in history is actually still pretty significant. Peggy Cartwright from Vancouver. So her contribution to Hollywood is she was a leading lady in some of the R Gang serials during their early silent days. And you know what R Gang is, 50?
No, doesn't ring a bell.
Have you ever heard of the Little Rascals?
Only in passing.
Okay, so the Little Rascals, which originally were known as Our Gang, was a series of serials that started in the silent era and they ended in the I think the 40s, maybe 30s, I can't remember. But basically, it was about a bunch of orphans, not orphans, but little kids who went just basically got up to shenanigans. There was a movie that came out in 1994 that's quite entertaining. Um, One of the more probably the one kid you would recognize that came from there is the actor who played Perry White in the Christopher Reeve Superman. He was
Hmm.
in our gang.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Great.
yeah,
Caesar's ghost.
yeah. So yeah, that's what this lady's significance was. Just give me a second here, dry throat. There we go. All right. So next up, we have Yvonne De Carlo. Do you recognize?
Ooh, no, but
So
hello
she
there.
was a legendary actress from the 1950s, from the golden age of Hollywood. She appeared in the film The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston
Hmm.
and the movie McClintock. But you probably know her from something else. She is Lily Munster from the Munsters.
Did not see the monsters.
But you have you at least heard of them?
I heard of the name.
Okay, so yeah,
Not
no,
what.
she is the matriarch of the family.
Okay, good for her.
I was a little disappointed. That was the one I was looking forward to the most.
I'm actually much more familiar with the Ten Commandments than the monsters, for obvious reasons.
All right. Next up, we have Marie Dressler, who I believe I've mentioned before, from Coburg, Ontario. She was the star of the first feature-length comedy from 1914, which also starred Charlie Chaplin. And then there is Deanna Durbin from Winnipeg. She was a child actress who made her first film appearance with Judy Garland in Every Sunday, and her films has been credited with saving Universal from bankruptcy. And she auditioned to play the role of Snow White in the for Disney for the
Yeah,
person that they were going to model the character after.
1927, I think.
Sorry.
1937.
Yeah, so I believe so. Yeah, so she auditioned for Snow White.
Cool.
How about this? Actually, this guy you'll know. Glenn Ford.
Who?
Okay.
No,
So,
the name. I didn't hear the name.
Glenn Ford.
I'm sorry. Nope.
Oh, don't worry, you will in a moment. He's from Saint Christian d'Auvergne, Quebec. He starred in Blackboard Jungle, Gilda, The Big Heat, and the original 310 Yuma. However, for us geeks, he is Pa Kent from
Oh,
Superman the movie.
okay.
Yep.
Now I recognize the face. Oh no! One of the most ridiculous death scenes in all of movie history.
But still an important one. All right.
Yeah, I just wish it would have been done better. That's what I'm saying. Oh no! It's my oh no! It's my cue to die.
All right. So next up, we have Lorne Green from Ottawa, Ontario. He was on the left is his role as Ben. That's the patriarch of the Cartwright family in Bonanza, Ben Cartwright. And on the right, he was the first. He was Commander Adama in the original Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
And he was made officer in the Order of Canada in 1969.
Nice.
And then next up, we have Walter Houston, legendary character actor from the Golden Age of Hollywood, born in Toronto. His most famous role is in The Maltese Falcon. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of that film.
I have, yes.
Okay. He won Best Supporting Actor for Treasure in the Sierra Madre. But you probably know his kids more. Angelica Houston.
Okay, definitely know that.
And Danny Houston.
Houston, we have a problem. Sorry. Planet Houston.
Yeah, no.
One.
They are step siblings.
No.
Yeah.
Not full season. Okay.
Next up we have we're in the last 2, 4, 5. Holy shit. Told you it's gonna be a short episode.
Shorter than usual then.
Yeah. All right. This is Raymond Massey. He starred in How the West Was Won, 7 Angry Men, Arsenic and Old Lace, and the one that I mostly know him from, East of Eden, which was James Dean's first film. And one of his many achievements is having achievements have also been recognized in a signature cocktail called the Raymond Massey, which is rye, ginger syrup, and champagne. And now we're getting into the giant. Funny enough, this is in alphabetical order, but these are like the true giants of this list. First up, we have Louis B. Mayer. Have you ever heard of him?
I might have heard of his work, but the name doesn't.
Oh, you've heard of his legacy. Film producer and co-founder of Metro Golden Mayer Studios, MGM, in 1924. You've definitely...
I'm familiar with that studio.
Yeah, exactly. Under Mayer's management, MGM became the film industry's most prestigious movie studio, accumulating the largest concentration of leading writers, directors, and stars in Hollywood. His films include Ben-Hur, the lost film London After Midnight, Freaks, The Thin Man, David Copperfield, Mutiny on the Bounty, and the Marx Brothers, A Night of the Opera.
Wait, so only one of the Marx Brothers movies?
No, that's the only one that was listed.
No, okay.
Yeah, that's the only one I wrote down. Like I could have wrote down a lot more, but that was the only one I wrote down.
Gotcha.
For some reason, I am missing one. Give me a second, see if I can actually upload it.
Glad to see I'm not the only one who has this problem.
Yeah. There it is. Right then, that one upload. There we go. So next up, we have Mary Pickford, who I know I have discussed before, named on the list of AFI's 100 Years, 100 Stars as the 24th top female star from classic Hollywood cinema era, and also co-founder of United Artists. The next up, we have Norma Shearer, who is the first person to receive 5 Academy Award nominations for acting.
Cool.
And she is considered the exemplar of sophisticated modern womanhood and the first American film actress to make it chic and acceptable to be single and not a virgin on screen.
Hey.
And then rounding this out is Max Sennett, who I know I have also discussed before. He became famous as the originator of slapstick routines such as pie throwing and car chases, as seen in his Keystone Cops films. And he had discovered Charlie Chaplin, Bing Crosby, Fatty Arbuckle, Harold Lloyd, and W.C. Fields.
Ooh.
And then finally, from London, Ontario, Jack L. Warner.
Any connection to Warner Brothers?
Resident and driving force behind the Warner Brothers studio in Burbank, California, with his brothers. Yeah.
Naturally.
Warner's career spanned over 55 years, surpassing that of any other of the seminal Hollywood studio moguls. Some of his films include My Fair Lady, Casablanca, Captain Blood, The Prince and the Pauper, and a movie that I find still holds up, Errol Flynn's The Adventures of Robin Hood. And that is the end of my list.
Wow. It's a very concise list.
Did not mean it to be this short.
Did not know it was going to be this short.
Yeah, but you know what? It works to our advantage today.
Wow. I did. It was so short, I didn't even have a chance to bring up a picture for my topic for next week. But
well,
is there anything else you want to add to this? Add a little bit of fluff to this episode?
No, just that Canada is ingrained in Hollywood just as much as anywhere else. Like, I mean, we are referred to as Canada North. A lot of
Hollywood North.
Hollywood North. Hollywood
Canada North. Canada's already in the North.
That's true. No, Hollywood North. Yeah, no, it's amazing to learn. Like, honestly, I didn't know that Jack L. Warner was from Canada, or Louis B. Mayer. I knew about Raymond Massey, of course, and Lorne Greene. Yeah, no, I was actually surprised to hear that two of the founding fathers of Hollywood were from Canada.
Do you want to also talk about some more modern Canadian contributors to Hollywood, or
Well, yeah, of course we've got William Shatner, Ryan Gosling nominated for his role for Academy Award for his role as Ken of all things. Denis Villeneuve is from here as well. Uh,
Denis Villeneuve,
Denis
the film?
Villeneuve is from Quebec, yes.
Huh.
Um,
Uh,
Also, we have Evangeline Lilly's from here as well.
okay.
Not Harold, Martin Short. It's Canadian, of course, probably one of our more famous Canadians. Rick Moranis, John Candy. Um, yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of lot of famous Canadians. That's for damn sure. Matthew
Yep.
Perry, they recently deceased.
Oh yeah. Still hadn't had time to process that with everything that's been happening.
Yep, definitely a little weird.
Yeah. Um. I mean, we can also talk about Jim Carrey,
Yeah, of course.
Ryan Reynolds, Ryan
Yep,
Gosling, all the good
I
Ryans.
already did say Ryan Gosling. Rachel McAdams is
Oh yes, yeah.
yeah,
Rachel McAdams too.
is Canadian. Kobe Smulders from
Yep.
Vancouver. Um, Trying to think if there's any more from my side of the country that come to mind. Oh, Kiefer Sutherland is Canadian, so is his dad. Seth Rogen, Vancouver. So Vancouver that a lot of the places are named after places he used to live or go to. Vancouver for Superbad. James Cameron.
James Cameron is also Canadian.
Yeah, Kapuskasing, Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm fucking blanking hard here.
Well, I think you gave it a good enough list anyway.
Yay. Well, what's your topic then?
My topic, as soon as I can get a handle on these images, my topic for next week, of course, as you know, by the time next week is going to roll around, we are, of course, in the month of March, and something very significant that happens all around the world on March, but it's also very tied to this region where I'm in. About a week from now, a week from today, is the month of Ramadan. Do you know what Ramadan is
Yes, I've actually gone over it before on the show.
on the show? Have we?
I thought we have.
It's weird.
Oh, we might have touched upon it. I think when you asked me before what holidays I knew, I think that's when we touched upon it. We didn't do an episode on it.
Okay, cool. So Ramadan, of course, is a very, very important time for in Islam for Muslims. So I figured why not take the time to talk about the Arab Israeli community. Fun fact: most people don't know that there are around 2 million Arabs living in Israel as full-on Israeli citizens with equal rights to Israeli Jews as well as Israeli Christians, uh, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. They can get elected. They can get equal opportunities, jobs, universities. Doctors around more than 50% of doctors in Israel are actually Arab Muslims.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're basically citizens. Another knocking of the hammer to knock down the stupid wall of lies that say that Israel is an apartheid state, which it is not. So we're going to talk about the Israeli Arab community. Again, Israeli Arabs, Muslims, Christians, Druze, and Bedouin who actually serve in the IDF. We're going to talk about a few bullet points of the history of the Israeli Arabs. We're also going to be talking about the difference between between Arab Muslims, as well as to talk a little bit about the Druze community and maybe some other communities in Israel as well. And just like we did last month with the famous Israeli black people, we're also going to be talking about some famous Israeli Arabs, both from both Arab Muslims, Druze, Bedouin, and Christian.
Nice.
That's going to be a bit of an interesting thing. And
Yeah.
well, Ramadan Kareem is what I have to say.
What he said. All right. Well, that wraps it up. That's probably going to be our shortest one yet. But hey,
Yep.
I'll take it.
And
So
that's with adding some fluff at the end.
pretty much. So yeah, you can find me on my personal Instagram at soda_the_saxman, and on this channel doing my usual shenanigans with 50 here.
Cool. And you can find me hopefully every Thursday on this show, Final Flags, and hopefully every Monday on my other main show on this channel, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, where I do weekly reviews of every single Doctor Who. Where we talk about the greatest show in the galaxy, Doctor Who. But I talk even more Doctor Who on my own YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek, where I do weekly reviews of every single Doctor Who episode from 1963 all the way to 2023. And if I can just take the stage for a moment, there is one other video that I uploaded today. Probably not going to go up on the day that this goes up, but on the day we are recording this is the 150th day since October 7th, meaning it's 150 days of Israel's war with Gaza and with Hezbollah and the Houthis and all the other assholes who want to kill us. But most importantly, as you probably have noticed from my title, it's 100 days since the hostages were kidnapped and are now being held hostage in Gaza under appalling conditions, underground, being starved, daily raped, tortured, abused, and being kept there against their will. So 151 days, 134 hostages, most of whom are still alive, or at least we're led to believe are still alive. And I did not just wear this sweatshirt for no reason. This says bring them home now, and that is a message that I think needs to reverberate all around the world, especially considering some new information that came to light today, where after 150 days, the United Nations finally addressed the issue of the sexual abuses that of the victims of October 7th have gone through. It took them 5 months, but at least they finally got there in the end. So yeah, that's why I'm wearing this sweatshirt right here. The dog tags, the bands, everything. Yeah, just to remind everyone that Israel did not start this war. We did not ask for this, and we have over 130 people still being kept underground in Gaza, and they need to come back home yesterday, not today. Yesterday. Yeah, that's it for that little bit of a tangent. And I'll uploaded a video with all the names and ages of the people who are still being held hostage in Gaza today. And you can also check, and for more fun, lighthearted stuff, you can check out all the other wonderful channels from the wider Benverse at large, like Something to Talk About, Galaxy Geeks, Multiverse of Geekdom, We Love As Unite, The Minute Cinema, 8 reviews, and In the Front Row, which is not pictured in this thumbnail. So, yeah, that's it, I believe. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
Nope, I got nothing.
You don't want to mention that we're doing this for
this
guy?
Yeah. Well, it's usually you're the one that does it, so.
All right. So, I mean, it's your turn. That's why I asked.
That's fair. Yeah, no, we're always doing this for our good friend Ben. Been on over a year now. Miss him every day. So yeah, do his honor, guys. Don't forget to let your geek flag fly, and we'll see you next week on Fun with Flags, guys. See ya.
Bring them home now.
And remember to play this.